Okay, okay, strong raise.
Not really, not with the mic, that would be better.
Here's the mic.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you for the presentation. That was really awesome. I work for a company, TomTom Entertainment, which builds for Sandbox. We build experiences, and I'm the art director of our team. And also, I'm a music producer. And my question will be really about the customization of the building process. I mean, in the game maker. In the near future, will we be able to add our own music or own SFX in the experience? I mean, if we will we be able to record some follies, for instance, for our experience, and integrate it into the whole experience? I really wonder if it will be possible in the near future. This is my first question, and the second one is, what about the audio chat option? I mean, we already had texting. We are chatting by texting, but if will we be able to chat with our own voices? Thank you.
Those are two great questions. And first, I'm proud to see there's more builders and creators in this audience and in this room that I even think about. So congrats, I've been one of the first building in Sandbox. So the capability of the game maker are constantly evolving, like we're updating it with new release, as you can see every 3 months, every 6 months. Definitely voice and audio are essential part of like how we create more immersion, more interaction between users and avatars. So we are looking at, indeed, having the possibility to upload your own music, your own sound effects. We just want to make sure like the flow to manage your sound will be still very simple in the UX. And the second thing is about like voice chat. We also like talking with various technology company to enable it in a way that's also always protecting the user, to make sure like the user experience remains safe, because we don't want to hear everyone talking at the same time, or we want to be able to shut off some people as we want. So that's what we're looking at, but I'm sure it will be coming.
Okay, other questions? Okay, please. Wait for the microphone.
First of all, you have always been an inspiration to me. I'm the product manager from the new key and multi-metaverse, open world actually. And you officially announced in Lisbon about that you're going to be in an open metaverse as soon as possible, and you said that. Would you just firstly tell me that why you haven't had thought about it before that, and why you now have decided to go for an open metaverse after this great success you have achieved?
Sorry, just can you repeat the question?
Yes, I just asked that. Recently you have decided to go for an open metaverse. You announced in the Lisbon Web Summit. And just my question that why you haven't had thought about it before, and what came to your mind and with this great success decided to go for an open metaverse?
All right, so that's right. In Lisbon, a week ago, we announced with a certain number of other companies, Upland, Decentraland, Somnium Space, Voxel, Metaverse, Animoca brands, just to Alien Worlds, just to name a few. The fact that we were joining forces to create the Open Metaverse Alliance, and that Open Metaverse Alliance was now accepting membership, so any company could come in. The main reason is like we definitely see like blockchain as a technology solution to facilitate content to be interpretable, but it's one of the challenges. It's not the only one to indeed enable users to have this experience of like being able to use an asset across any other games. There's definitely topics that we need to work around like portaling and mapping, around like the avatar representation, the experience that you accumulated with your avatar, so we call it reputation, to bring it from one world to another. That's one thing. The second thing is like a few months back, there's also been an announcement from a certain number of large Web2 companies who created the Metaverse Standard Forum, which was actually a great initiative. Great, let's talk about creating an interpretable metaverse. Except that from this announcement, there was just no Web3 company at all. Yes, there was the Facebook, the Adobe, the Nvidia, the Microsoft, the Epic, the Roblox of the world, and literally zero Web3 company. Like, we didn't exist at all for them. And we found that was like crazy. So instead of having like a lot of relatively smaller Web3 companies apply, joining force make us together stronger, so we can have one united voice at the same table as a larger Web2 company to decide the future of like how we want to build an interoperable metaverse, because we don't want to build it on APIs. We don't want them to set the standards. We want to have a say in it and contribute to build a future together. Perfect. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Okay, any questions? Be courageous. Any questions? Okay, sorry.
Great presentation, first of all, thank you. And Sandbox has been really successful since the start, I believe. Like, I've been following you for more than a year, I guess, and you have been successful for a long time. And the recent news about the Facebook Meta and the aggressive approach to metaverse, and which resulted in not a really good situation. What do you think you do right and they do wrong? So you become that much successful and many others become less successful.
Great question, right?
Yeah, it's a great question. And maybe, first of all, even I wish we were successful every day from the beginning. That's unfortunately not true. Like, we've spent over 11 years to build Sandbox. We spent, since the origin on mobile, we spent 4 years to build it on the blockchain using NFTs. So we've been one of the pioneers. And it's only recently that everyone starts to hear about Sandbox. So we've been grinding, building, struggling maybe at some point until we figure out and connect all the right elements that makes it like a successful value proposition for an ecosystem from people like you and to grow, involving brands, the creation tool, and so on. I think like it's still, as an entrepreneur, the journey is still very difficult. And even if we want to think about the 1% successful, there's always this huge line of like every single mistake, every single failure that maybe you didn't take the right decision, but ultimately if you learn from your mistake, if you learn to iterate faster, you can rapidly keep growing and succeed. In my opinion, so we're grateful to be here where we are today, and we're here where we are today because of you, because we build that with the community, with the creators, so you contribute to that success. What probably Meta hasn't done right is like they announced the metaverse way too early, in my opinion. So they made a very bold move. Let's rebrand our whole company as Meta in last October, while they didn't have any product ready. So that first mistake. So what was, like a lot of people were wondering, what is this about, what we can do, and so on. And for a year, I'm pretty sure nobody has seen from Meta what it is about. I don't know how many of you own an Oculus Quest or tried it. Still very limited. So the user patience has faded away. The second thing is lack of content. So they focus too much on the technology, not enough on the user experience and the content itself, so that they create like the relevant experiences that people want to get into it. At the end of the day, the metaverse, the success of it will come from content, people, and technology, not just one of those three. It has to be the combination. And yet, because they work both on the hardware and on the software, it's even harder. Like developing the right hardware devices, which I don't know about you, but I don't think yet VR, even the latest Meta Quest Pro, is ready for like massive consumer adoption. It's comfortable, it's seamless, and so on. There's still more iteration of that product until we can reach out. And in the meantime, there's other more nimble actors who can build faster and focus on the right points to hopefully grow and offer a new, unique value proposition to the audience.
Thank you. Happy to have you here.
Thank you.
Any questions? Finding Mr. Borget here is a great opportunity for the community here.
Hello, my question is regarding your journey towards cultivating your community. Can you please give us some insights regarding your journey in your cultivation process of your community and some information, some maybe marketing hacks you use, plus how you actually become so familiar with your own community and it's actually keeping on growing? Thank you.
All right, how to do that in 1 minute versus like I could lecture you for hours on what we did right or wrong. I think like one important thing we see is like how we're really having this passion to build those things with the community. And we put the community first as much as possible. When we do mistakes, that happens, we try to apologize in the proper way to compensate the community. It's always like this user first and community first approach that kind of drives us. The second is like, we know our strengths and we know our weaknesses. Like, we are not the best gaming platform in the world. We are not the best game maker in the world. We are not pretending anything so. What we know is we're a fun place to socialize, to interact, and it's easy to create on Sandbox. So we try to focus on that, and while we work on the product, to improve our weaknesses progressively. And on the marketing, we've been very focused on like the content, the experience, and the real value proposition. We are not selling you like a free airdrop of token or crypto. We've always been focused on blockchain and gaming first, and user-generated content at the end that drive both. So that's maybe some tiny answers that can help you.
Okay, I think there's a question, something over there, right? Any question, please? Okay.
Yeah, thanks for the presentation. You said you have been working for 10 or 11 years on Sandbox, and I'm wondering what has been your vision throughout the whole journey that has been carrying you through all these years, and also what made you believe in Sandbox to the extent that you became so successful in a short amount of time. And if we speak very concretely, the vision that we talked about, let's say in 5 or 10 years, where do you imagine Sandbox to be?
Great.
So the one thing that's always been driving us has been like, how do we empower people to be more creative? How do we use new technology capable to provide new ways to interact or to create? Back then, 10 years ago, that was using like touchscreen on smartphone. We found it was kind of fun and almost magical to create just by the touch of your finger on a smartphone or a tablet. Today, we think like it's even more like being able to create with this no-code tool and seeing what people are making with it. That's what inspires and keeps us every day going. So when people share their creation every day on social media, they tag SandFam, Sandbox, etc., we watch it, we retweet it sometimes, we want to show, and we get really excited. We see like there's users, it's inspiring people. So that's, and now like the idea that not only they can be more creative, but they can earn a revenue, and we push the creator economy thanks to that, that's even more like the realization of our mission that's becoming more and more concrete. So that leads to where do we see ourselves in 5 to 10 years? We want to keep doing that even better at a bigger scale, like how from 230 studios, from 100,000 of creators, we reach millions, 10 of millions of creators and thousands of studios that develop into an industry where we are the platform that support that creativity. And we want to make sure like this will be built using Web3 approach, decentralization, hopefully with the DAO in place for the governance, all of that was part of our initial roadmap.
Okay. Just want to... Okay, so be over. Thank you. Thank you so much for this.
You.
Maybe if Urvashi is okay, just one question from my lady. Okay, just one. Short answer. Okay, thank you. This one. Yes, please.
Hello. We live in a world where there are so many metaverse projects. I think it's like a trend in a game project and non-game project, but they are so different and have a lot of features. But what's the real metaverse for you? What is it?
But that's it. that's a world with so many different virtual worlds, each one with different features, different communities, different possibilities, as long as you as a user can take your content from one to another, like the internet.
Thank you so
Okay,
much,
thank
Mr.
you.
Borget, and all the audiences, all the questions.
Thank you so much
Okay,
again.
okay,
Thank you,
thank
have a good
you.
day.